What's up, folks? This is Acid Roots. So I'm going to talk to you guys about Miley Cyrus's new 2020 album, Plastic Hearts. So this project was originally going to be called something different back in the day. Miley Cyrus dropped in 2019 an EP called She Is Coming, and she had two other EPs that she was going to put out and then put out like an album with those three EPs combined called She Is Miley Cyrus. So that didn't happen. I think that was effectively scrapped, and we got like an entirely new direction with Plastic Hearts because this is a whole different field. It's different from She Is Coming. It's different from Bangers. It's different from Younger Now. It's different from her Miley Cyrus and Her Dead Pets project. So the situation about this is it's kind of glam rock and like 80s rock mixed with a little bit of Miley Cyrus from like her 2008 2010 days. So that's kind of the situation. I think that like although the title Plastic Hearts and the album cover show it to be like something ripped out of 1987 or something, the whole thing about it is just about half the project has like the kind of uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Makeshift and kind of low key rock, this mellow rock off her early albums, which I'm not like against those tracks, but they lack the spice and like the energy of the glam rock that she was attempting to do to promote this project. So obviously that's kind of the situation. So you kind of get half and half. I don't want people going into this album thinking like it's just crammed with 80s stuff because in some cases it is, but in some cases there's other things that kind of go along with it. But to say one thing, if you're a fan of like the 2013 Miley Cyrus from like the Wrecking Ball days, that's not really on here. And then kind of the pop approach that she did last year on She Is Coming, the closest thing to that would be Prisoner. But even that kind of felt 80s tinged also. So, um, I mean, I like this album, but it's not like a wall to wall success, I guess you could say. I mean, I like it enough to purchase it, but it's not like I wouldn't say it's a classic. So to talk about the singles now, um, so the first single was Midnight Sky, and this is really a brilliant song. Midnight Sky is a real brilliant song. I completely promote this as a single. Had so much catchiness to it, like the production, the singing, the chorus, the verses. So much about this song was just fantastic. And this is the sort of song that Miley Cyrus, even if she tries a different theme for like her next album, it would be highly recommended that she make more songs like this song. It just works. It was such a nice fit, kind of similar to her Mother's Daughter song last year. I mean, Miley Cyrus is getting real good at dropping like a complete like what's the word I'm looking for? A complete like carnivorous and just yeah, carnivorous first single. I mean, it just is that good. This is the second project in a row she's done that, and that's kind of the way it was. But then the follow-up single was Prisoner, and that just recently came out back in mid-November, and it has Dua Lipa on there, Dua Lipa, and thing about that is it sounds like pop. I mean, this is probably the song you're going to hear more these days on the radio if you're looking for promotion from this project. But the thing about it is this is like so. I mean, it's so effortless pop. I mean, just the way it works. It's not try hard. It's not like it's not trying to fit in. It's not kind of having difficulty trying to get into the mesh of like uh, relevant pop as of 2020. It doesn't really have a problem with that. So that's kind of the situation. Sometimes, like, you'll hear, like, especially people now in their early 30s and late 20s, compared to folks that are dropping songs like Blueberry Fago and, like, that 24K Golden or whatever his name is, and Jack Harlow. It does a good job. That's just what I'm trying to say here. As Prisoner is a great follow up single. It's not as immediate as Midnight Sky, but it's still a great follow up. And as of this point, I don't know if there's going to be a third single, but hopefully there will be. If I had to guess, I would choose like Plastic Hearts or Night Crawling with Billy Idol. It'd be neat to kind of get Billy Idol on like a single after so many years. I mean, he's like a relic from the 80s, so to kind of see him on like a song on the radio, it'd be interesting to get that going. But okay, to talk about like the rest of the project now, so there's only 12 songs on this project, so that's kind of what I have to talk about. So I'll give you the songs I recommend, and then we'll kind of get with the rest of the review. So the songs I recommend out of 12 are, there's 5 of them: Midnight Sky, Prisoner, Give Me What I Want, Night Crawling, and the title track Plastic Hearts. Now, to talk about some of these are the ones that fit the theme of the 80s kind of vibe and the way that she was intending for the project, songs like Midnight Sky and stuff. And minus the song Bad Karma with Joan Jett, that's the only other song that I would have said that could have had that theme. So I guess it would have been like half the project. Well, actually, I think What the Fuck I Know was on there, but that's 80s also and kind of rock tinged. But I didn't appreciate that one. But to talk about some of these, Give Me What I Want felt real contemporary, and it felt like something you could hear on the radio or on a dance floor or something. And it was the same thing with Night Crawling. I mean, both of these felt like something ripped out of glam metal type stuff. And that's kind of the situation. You look at it, I mean, where do you typically listen to glam metal? You listen to it at bars, pubs, um, places like that, dance, not so much dance clubs anymore or raves, but more just kind of like places where you can find alcohol and kind of sit down and that sort of stuff. Maybe like taverns and places where you can play pool and that sort of stuff. So it's just got more of that intended more so than, up and dancing and at concerts and that sort of thing. So this is kind of more of like a night feel to it. And I like the appreciation of that. That's why I have to, be so enthused about like the night aesthetic that kind of went along with this project is good. And especially the song Plastic Hearts. I mean, that one felt like something destined for a pub or a coffee bar or something like that. Someplace where you listen to music, but you can get coffee, those type things. Felt real low key with that. And so that's just kind of the situation. Those are the good moments. I mean, it obviously has dancing in mind and nighttime in mind, but at the same time, it just is kind of more with like a back alley kind of feel. I mean, that's just, it's not frontal like, hey, like LMFAO or Katy Perry or Adele type stuff. And maybe a little bit of Adele, but you get what I'm trying to say here. So that's kind of the situation. But to talk about some of the records that I didn't enjoy now, like songs like Angels Like You, High, Hate Me, Never Be Me, and Golden G String, they all have like the same feel to them. They're all pop rock from like ripped out of 2008 or 2010 or something. It's basically almost vintage Miley Cyrus. And like I said, it's not so much that I dislike these, but I like the theme so much that she went with when promoting this album. It feels kind of like a blast from the past, and it's, I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. It just felt like you probably could have saved that for something else. But, obviously, for what it is, if you like that, for old time fans of Miley Cyrus, I'm sure that there's some good stuff in there. That's just kind of the thing. I mean, I started with Miley Cyrus virtually on bangers. That's where, her 2013 twerking self was the kind of version of her that I caught first. So I'm not really used to like the 2008 and the Hannah Montana Miley Cyrus so much, but it's in this project. So, but then to talk about a couple other songs, I guess there were more 80s and glam metal type songs on here. I mean, you have What the Fuck Do I Know and then Bad Karma with Joan Jett, but both of these felt like a different type of theme. I mean, it really seemed like Miley Cyrus wasn't just focusing on one genre, like the Billy Idol style of things. It was more just 80s rock. I think it was just like the whole decade of the 80s when it came to rock music. That's what it was aiming for. So What the Fuck Do I Know was different. didn't like the type of rock from that sort of thing. And it was kind of the same thing with Bad Karma. And obviously knowing more about Joan Jett, I mean, I've heard songs by her, but I don't know. I felt like Billy Idol did the better job of blending with Miley Cyrus. It seemed like it was just a more contemporary type feel, but so yeah, I'm gonna give this album, me liking 5 songs out of 12. I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. I'm just gonna say it's about average, and the brilliance of the singles helps really weigh this project in, but it just does not have enough to go around to kind of not only fit the theme but fit the quality of the project. So that's 2 things it has against it, is the fact that, I mean, I like that Miley Cyrus wanted to go back to like some old styles, but it probably should have been reverted to just like 2 or 3 songs rather than 5 or 6, something like that. So that's just kind of the thing. But so it kind of takes a different stage because this has like a bipolar kind of theme to it, where half of it is kind of rooted in just like karaoke and pub and bar type stuff, but the other half of it is like a homely and house cleaning kind of Miley Cyrus that you just would kind of think. So that's where that mostly comes from, is you're getting like 2 variations of what's going on here. So if you're interested, I mean, that's what it has, but just know that if you're looking for songs like Prisoner and Midnight Sky, it's really not overly here. And with there just being 12 songs, it's a real brief kind of thing. So that's where it went. So, but I'll give the social score as of right now, I'll give it a 7, just because I like both the singles, but I don't know if there's going to be a third single. I would like there to be, but I don't know what the direction's going to kind of go, because I've listened to all the songs, and I don't know what could tear up the charts as a decent third single. Like I said, I think Nightcrawling would be a good one, but she may just change course and do something softer. So as of right now, I'd give it a 7, just because, obviously there's some fun dance songs and some fun outgoing songs, but, it just is, well, I don't know. So, that's how that goes. Mostly, like I have to say, I have to wrap this up, I have to keep talking. I really like the aesthetic on this project, but, it's not, you just have to understand that it's a balanced meal. It's not just all of one thing. You're getting your vegetables, you're getting your fruits, you're getting your grains, you're getting the rest of the stuff on here. It's not just, when I say you look at the album cover, that's not all there is. That's just the thing to know.